Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Scorpio, January 17, 2023. The moon heads into your privacy sector today, which might slow you down a little, likely for your own good. You're more aware of any tendencies to overload on an emotional level today and tomorrow. Restoring your energy becomes a priority. With Mercury retrograde for a few more days, it's best not to begin something all new, as it will likely get off to a slow start, or you might reconsider it later. Today, you're working on clarifying your thoughts and ideas and getting plenty of space to do so. You're finding things to stimulate your mind. Better vibes are here for your taking. This is because mighty Mars, the red planet of passion, sex, and drive, has returned to life across the sky from you in your solar house of relationships. He will remain here until March 2023. Partnership will become a top priority for you, encouraging you to find someone who mirrors your soul and dances in the same rhythm. However, if you're on rocky ground or determined to be single, this energy could instead manifest as conflicts and frustration in both you and other people. Remain positive throughout your workday. Usually, you are an upbeat sign, but you may not feel as optimistic when the moon enters its fall, Scorpio. The fallen lunation will be hitting your subconscious outlook and perception, which might accidentally make you a bit more cynical. You may have a paranoid take on a coworker or feel unusually negative about your workplace. Instead of reading into every little thing, lean into the transformative aspects of the lunar energy to reinvigorate your subliminal approach to your work life. Doing so will help you get your groove back. Mercury, who began the year in retrograde motion in your income sector, is slowing down ahead of his direct turn in 3 days. With the sun just 4 days away from leaving but the solar spotlight staying on your income situation, matters, and options until after Mercury turns direct, this is giving you time to look to the future and the past in the early weeks of this new financial year. Your health practices are a wonderful way to reconnect with lost parts of yourself. The meticulous child who arranged her sock drawer every Saturday might re-emerge as you wash up after cooking a nutritious meal. The bounding little gymnast who had the energy of a puppy may float across your mind each time you roll out your yoga mat. As your practice strengthens, remember to embrace gently the parts of you that emerge. It is through acceptance, not judgment, that we achieve wholeness. You may find that you gain closure in a long-standing family dispute on this day. This in itself is a victory, so do not fret if you did not come out as the clear-cut winner. That would only cause bitterness, and the family rift would only grow wider instead of smaller. Take pleasure in knowing that what has been an ongoing and often painful saga has finally ended. Now is the time for warmer sentiments to return to the foreground when thoughts about family come to mind. Just as Mercury is slowing to a standstill as he moves into his final 3 days in retrograde motion in your income sector, the already much slower Uranus has come to a standstill as he moves into his final 7 days in retrograde motion in your work sector. Having already formed a friendly aspect twice and set to do it again after they both turn direct, Uranus and Mercury are working as a team to make the most of the doors still open to the past on the income and job fronts. While they do, the Sun and North Node are keeping an eye on the road ahead on both fronts. The last few days have seen some exciting and major developments on the romantic and relationship fronts. In the space of just 4 days, the dwarf planet Eris has turned direct in your romantic sector, the asteroid Juno has returned, and Mars has turned direct in your relationship sector. After a busy few days, there will be no more big changes for a while, with the team that will take romantic and relationship matters forward now in position. Our eyes in the sky. The Libra moon squares Pluto in Capricorn early in the day, creating power dynamics and struggles with others. This is a moment when arguments can occur, because we feel it's important to assert our beliefs and be heard. Later, the moon enters Scorpio and shares a minor frustration with Jupiter in Aries, heightening passions and taking matters to the extreme. You get on famously with everyone you meet, and it appears you are friendlier than ever. Your helpful and obliging nature encourages others to be ready to lend a hand and be especially keen to return your kindnesses. Now is a good time to introduce yourself to a potential employer or enter important discussions, which ultimately turn out well. Slow down. With all the activities you're involved in, both your mind and body need more relaxation than you're allowing them. Listen to your body, and do something good for your health. Pay more attention to the balance between activity, relaxation, and pleasure. A deep tissue massage often works wonders. If you plan to make some financial transactions, wait a little and think things over at your leisure. There are some obstacles in the way that prevent the matter being handled as smoothly as you imagined. Even though you'd like to buy something, far better to wait if you want a favorable outcome. The people you talk to are considerate, and any social occasion provides you and everybody who attend with a wonderful experience, where you can enjoy a convivial atmosphere and pleasant company. In such a relaxed atmosphere, the chances are that you make new friends. It is also possible for you to renew old friendships. Just after midnight, the Libra moon squares off with Pluto in Capricorn, provoking erratic behavior. As many of us will be asleep at this hour, this influence can manifest in unsettling dreams or even nightmares. Pay attention to whatever arises in these visions, as they can be cathartic. A confrontation with latent fears will allow us to exorcise whatever unconscious anxieties are festering in our minds. Unhealthy behaviors we commit to dealing with head-on following this transit can be purged from our lives. Following this, the moon enters a void period lasting until the morning. You're resourceful and happy to spend time on improving your appearance and behaving as well as you possibly can. You feel affectionate towards those closest to you, or if single, your positive attitude has a marked effect on the way you respond. Not feeling like anything too physically demanding, you prefer a good time in pleasant surroundings. Exercise self-control and don't make agreements without first thinking them through. Otherwise, you could get involved in unnecessary disagreements. You may receive an offer from someone you find attractive, but don't be too upset if it doesn't go your way. Feeling restless, you may resort to overeating but must resist the temptation to overindulge. Be careful with your health and avoid pushing yourself too far. Circumstances sometimes result in greater difficulties arising than you might expect, and for this reason you need to save and ration your energy. Take a step back, don't get unduly stressed. Being too ambitious doesn't help you achieve your goal. Before sunup, the moon enters Scorpio, ending its void of course. Although we may have struggled with a bad night's sleep, awakening into a Scorpio lunar period provides us with the emotional fortitude to handle our problems. Instead of repressing what has been revealed, we have the means to confront it over the next 2 days. We are now equipped to dig into our psychological workings without running away from what we discover.